So I just want to record a quick overview of the quote-unquote studio where Frank and I record our podcasts and videos. Unfortunately, I've been running into way more trouble than I should be to do a quick video like this. Between my rambling and the stupidity of my recording device, we have run into far too much trouble. So we're going to give a quick overview of all the memorabilia and minutia that makes up my game room, and hopefully we can cover it more in depth in some sort of future series. Anyway, we'll start with the table we record the podcast on. We've got some great coffee table material, aka books that have lots of pictures, but for adults. I got a 3DS, of course. Notes for a future video. I have to record right after this. Got Samus overlooking the entire game room. I gotta get my quick plugs in. We got a surround sound. We've got video game hard drives, video game adapters, the consoles themselves, pine cones, game discs, all the essential needs for video games. And of course, all the systems I have out are hooked up, which is why I have this rat's nest of cables slowly infesting the floor. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it onto the ground like kudzu vines. We've got games to play. The ones hiding in these boxes, the ones I plan to cover in future Let's Play series and streams. Of course, there's plenty that I don't plan on covering anytime soon. We've got Wii, PS3, DS, Game Boy Advance, 3DS, even a PSP. Although I don't know if it works. Of course, you need controllers. And oh boy, have I got controllers. We get to my favorite part of the game room, the books. The ones up here are magazines from the late 90s, lots of sentimental value, with my copies of Ultra Game Player and EGM. And we'll just stop and take a look at all the other random stuff I've got in here. My PS3 fight stick, so I can play games like Arcana Hearts. We get real serious about them. Books, books, books. More books, more books. Of course, I have to stop and recommend Ultimate History of Video Games and Game Over, two of my favorite video game books. But of course, my favorite video game book, Power Up by Chris Kohler. It's a series of essays about video games, and he spends quite a bit of time on video game music itself, which was very influential for me, as you can probably tell at this point. Got lots of other niche stuff that I always like to highlight in my little video game displays. Of course, not everything is about video games. Well, we won't worry about that right now. Unfortunately, due to the strange shape of this display case, I'm a little limited in how I display my item, but I think it works out pretty well. Of course, gotta show a little VGM cred. We got some CDs by the 1-Ups, Random, Descendants of Erdrick, Temp Sound Solutions. Dr. Octorok, gotta bump this one in a couple months. My very first video game hip hop. Some Dreamcast games. Look at, see? This is exactly what happens. You get caught up somewhere, and now look at me. I spent like 2 minutes on one shelf. Moving on. This is the part I trip up the most, because do I love to talk about Zelda. And as you'll soon see, much of the game room can more accurately be described as a Zelda room. Because if you check out the poster wall, of course we got some great art of Earthbound, Super Mario RPG, and a very great hand-painted pixel art masterpiece here by 8-bit artists, which I love because, of course, that is where I stole my online identity from. I love to display some colorful artwork though, which is why I had to put up this Kirby Canvas Curse artwork along with Rhythm Heaven Fever. But here's where the Zelda gets most intense. We've got Wind Waker, we've got a map of Spirit Tracks, we've got the wonderful anime styled artwork featured in Super Smash Bros. So I got my Legend of Zelda and I got my Kid Icarus thrown in for free. Timeline. This is not a poster, but a puzzle I put together and finally was able to frame. And then my favorite piece of the game room, the Zelda books. So we've got a couple of classic Zelda guides here from before they started making the super cool hardcovers. Now I don't have every hardcover, but I do have most of them. Here's a couple of my favorite magazines from around the time Ocarina of Time was about to hit stores. And then of course this guy here reveals even more books. Oh, and hey, I didn't plan on being in this video today. And of course, the one thing I forgot is my amiibo display, which has another Zelda section, including the non-amiibo hiding back here of Skull Kid. We got the Splatoon section, we got the Super Mario section, we got the very lonely Earthbound section, and the random mishmash of Smash Bros. Fighters. But of course I've covered all of this amiibo stuff in past videos, and I'm sure to do it again in the future. So that's the game room. Let me know if there's anything you saw that was particularly interesting, and maybe I'll do a follow-up about any of those items, maybe how I came upon them, or what drove me to make the rash decision of purchasing them. So thank you for watching another video on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching.